Imagine you're in a bank making a withdrawal, and there are many other customers in the bank, and a bank robber comes in and is doing a holdup. The bank robber does not see you, and there is an opportunity for you to disarm the robber. The bank robber is guaranteed to shoot hostages if you don't attack to disarm him. If you do attack and disarm him, it is likely that you will be shot in the process. Do you take that risk with strangers? There's no guarantee help is on the way. Now imagine that you're in the same situation and you have 3 of your family members with you. If you attack the robber to disarm him, it is likely that you and your family will be harmed in the process. Would you take the risk of disarming the robber or not, and why?
Our prediction as a group was that at least one test subject would say that they would not take the bullet for the strangers, but definitely for their family, while thinking logically through the scenario. The reason they would use this logical reasoning while thinking through their own morals is because of their age group, which is teenagers. Dylan is 15, Emily is 18, and Nathan is 17. They are all in the post-conventional levels and within higher levels of the 6 stages defined by Kohlberg, and they are able to think morally and logically.
Let's see how the subjects responded.
I think that, most people would say they would take the risk for strangers, but, in the moment, it's kind of would you actually be, willing to? Reading the scenario, you're of course I would. There's plenty of innocent people, and, my life compared to, however many people are in the bank, let's say, 20 people. But, actually in the moment, I don't think that you would actually do it. But reading this, I would say, of course, yes, I would take the risk. But, I think that when you're actually put in this situation, it's definitely, a different, your actions would show otherwise.
So what about you personally?
I think I'd definitely, take the risk, even for strangers, because it's, my thought process would be, I don't know, these people, or, of course, let's say I'm shot and, killed, of course, so many people are gonna, mourn the loss of me, but, consider, just me, dying as opposed to, 20 people dying and, their families being affected by that. It's, it would cause, a lot less heartbreak.
And now take that scenario and apply that to your family. Your family is in that same situation.
I mean, in a heartbeat, without second guessing anything, I would, of course, take the opportunity to, save them, and in the process, saving everyone else.
And why?
Well, I think that, us, I, value my family and, everything they, do for me and whatever, and I definitely think, when you truly, love people, you are, willing to, risk everything for them. So, if, I know, if I was there with, my mom or my sister or someone, and, they were at risk for getting hurt, I would definitely prefer myself to get hurt as opposed to them. Because, let's say in the situation I didn't, take the opportunity to disarm him, but and I didn't get hurt, but they did, then, I would definitely not be able to, cope with the fact that, I could have done something about it and saved them.
So, I think if I'm the only one that could, disarm the robber, then I would kind of have to. And it's likely that I'll be harmed, but it's not guaranteed. So, I think that I would have to take the risk. I feel like it would be the same with my family and with strangers, because it's still, people's lives. And even though they're not my family, I still care if everyone would get killed. I would still want to save the strangers, even though they're not my family, because they're still people with their own families that would be sad if they died, and I wouldn't want that. So I would take the risk.
You would put your own life at risk, though.
Yeah. My life would end, but that's one life compared to all the other lives.
Okay, now apply that same situation to 3 family members.
I think with my family it would be different.
Why?
Because then be risking my family's life and not just my own. so I don't know if I could do that because it's unfair to them. It's my choice. So I wouldn't then.
To be honest, I think I'd probably try to disarm the person because I really hate to see other people go out. I don't know. Do you want me to like talk about my own personal experiences?
Sure. Why would you disarm them? Why would you disarm the robber?
Well, I don't know. I think it's for me. It's specifically worse because I move a lot, so it also leads me to become close to people really easily, even though like I don't really know that much about them, and there's a lot of people that I used to know that I thought I knew, and now I don't really know them, and that kind of makes me sad, if that makes sense. And then just seeing people die, because I've had a friend that died before, and just I didn't even know him that well, and like that already by itself made me cry. So it's just I don't like to experience stuff like that. I'd probably take my life for the life of other people's.
You have 3 of your family members with you. If you attack the robber to disarm him, it is likely that you and your family will be harmed in the process. Would you take the risk of disarming the robber or not, and why?
Well, if my family is involved, it kind of does push me to like not want to disarm them anymore, but like I think I'd still probably do it just because more like the first thing I'd think of is like the first option I choose if I didn't think about it is probably not to do it, but if I really kind of had the time to think about it a little bit, I'd probably still do it either way because to be honest my family kind of sucks and basically like my mom kicked me out of the house and a lot of times, and that kind of like left me scarred, and she said pretty bad things to me. My dad, he's not really too bad to me, but like he's not the best person. He's very self-centered. He's had me like he kind of wants me to be this specific kind of person, and he doesn't really care about how other people's lives go, and like a lot of things that my family does is just not good. My family's not really good people, if I think about it. Even though I love them, I'd probably still do it. In my head, I know that I probably did the right thing.
Was our hypothesis correct? Our hypothesis was disproved because each subject said they would take the bullet for both strangers and their family. This is because each subject thought logically about the situation to what they would do and came to a conclusion that they valued the safety of multiple other people over their own. The majority of the subjects used their own moral reasoning to come up with a logical solution, which was based off their own ethical principles. What subjects displayed what stages and levels of moral reasoning? The first test subject, Dylan, exhibited Stage 3 in Kohlberg stages of moral reasoning. It can be defined by this.
Stage 3, interpersonal expectations. An attempt to live up to the expectations of important others. Follow rules or do what others would want so that you would win their approval. Negative actions will harm relationships.
The second test subject, Emily, exhibited Stage 6 in moral reasoning, and it is defined as this.
Stage 6, universal principle. Self-chosen ethical principles, profound respect for sanctity of human life, nonviolence, equality, and human life. Moral principles take precedence over laws.
Our final test subject, Nathan, used Stage 5 reasoning, which is defined as this.
Stage 5, legal principles. Must protect the basic rights of all people by upholding the legal principles of fairness, justice, equality, and democracy.
Although each subject had a different stage of reasoning, all subjects answered to the scenario in the post-conventional level.
Post-conventional morality. With the abstract reasoning of formal operational thought, people may reach a third moral level. Actions are judged right because they flow from people's rights of self-defined basic ethical principles.